Oof, that was the wrong camera. That was the wrong camera to start. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Happy Sunday, everyone. Come on in. My head is still reeling over what we saw in this game yesterday. It's actually crazy, and it's actually nuts, and I don't know how to process any and all of it. But I'm going to see if I can just try to find some more endings and some more interactions with stuff that are absolutely fucking ridiculous. So we're going to jump back into... Hi, Beeb. Hi, Beeb. Thank you. I love you. Beeb's here, and she's just hanging. She's in the back. It's a Beeb. She's Beeb. Alrighty. We're jumping back in, and we're running into it. So hold tight. I'm just going to do a little intro just for the sake of it, and then we'll jump into the game. So here we go. Hello, YouTube. Hello and welcome for the inevitable video. As I'm exiting out of tabs like an idiot. Hi! Happy Sunday. Welcome on in, everyone. My name's Agent Talyn, and we are jumping back into the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, and this is your first time popping in to see it, you're not going to understand anything really that's going on. This game is an absolute trip. I thought it was just funny for the sake of funny. It's a cluster of all sorts of things. So let's jump into the cluster, shall we? First of all, I'm loading it up. You see my beautiful background that I have here. We're loading up the game, and I believe we get an achievement for popping back into the game, having stopped the... Developed by Crows. Shoutouts to Crows. Please enter the current time. The current time is... hold on. As it stands right now, the current time is 2:06 p.m. Hang on. Oh my god, this game's already doing stuff. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that stuff seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. You're actually taking the time to set the clock up. This game is so meta and self-aware, and it's just ridiculous. That's how I know you care about the experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have a way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right, I'll get you back to... Well, we know what time we have to do next time. We got to go 4:20. Come on. All right, remember, we're playing the Stanley Parable 2, which is the game's in-game way of making it the sequel with it not being the sequel. There's literally an achievement for getting every single one of these, by the way. For adjusting all of them to every single number. It's the silliest thing in the world. We're gonna go back. I know there's a little bit of music playing, but I'm gonna keep our background music as well going on it. We're gonna jump back in.
This is the story.
Okay. Welcome back. We got an achievement for coming back and playing a game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
The achievement is to...
Door 5 times.
Is to click this door 5 times.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling
Oh
the
my
satisfaction
God.
of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
All right, well, here we go to 50 clicks.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Okay.
I want to see commitment,
Oh,
a
God.
willingness to go all the way,
I
no
hate
matter
this.
what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
20 clicks into door 417. Can I get to door 417? How do I get to door 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Oh my God.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere.
hate
Now,
this.
door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Jesus Christ. Door 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh my. I'm losing my mind with this game. This is ridiculous.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Oh my God.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it!
Jesus
now the copy machine, do that one again!
This game is certifiably insane.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. You really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Oh
Just
my
think, only a
God.
few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
This is insane. Actually insane.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
All right. We got our bucket. We got our bucket, everyone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley
So
had
what we
felt
were
the
doing last
bucket
time when I
calling
had
to
to
him,
stop
telling him that the employee
is,
lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley
We're going
took the
here.
door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
There is a fucking... Are you kidding me right now?
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Oh
You've
my
nearly
God.
gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Figla and Marines. What? What is this dude on about? We get to go back in an event? Hello? Okay. Where are we at now, by the way? What is happening?
Okay, this is day number 295.
Oh my
Day
god!
number-
This is the narrators?
I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real.
Oh my god.
anymore.
By the way, shout outs to the voiceover guy that did
Study
this.
bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
There's really a lot leaning on this bucket.
Make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket.
I need to get a bucket. That's what this game is teaching me. I need to get a bucket. I just need to carry a
Why
bucket around with me everywhere I go.
everything feels so. What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
You could.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What do you
Stanley
mean,
decided
Gobble
to go to the meeting room.
Rata?
Perhaps
And
he had
that's
simply
it.
missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Is there an interaction?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
No.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think? Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
Dude, 420. Yeah, there's some input things that occasionally are popping up on these computers. Like adding purple whatever to them. And I don't know if that's like a kind of hidden puzzle interaction thing or what.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Oh, we're about
yes,
to find out.
Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Good job, Bucket. Oh, God. That's right, when you pause, it just turns dark red.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure.
It feels like
Stanley
it.
reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Bucket, you've been doing great so far.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, so there's a loading dock to get out. And we know that we can't fall. We can't die from fall damage. But last time when we were writing this,
Good.
Said the bucket.
what we did is we
Now
jumped
ride
off and
the
we went
lift all
down
the
that
way
way.
to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious
And we're gonna jump
He was
off
firmly
onto this
convinced
really
that
quickly.
The bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
So we can't go in this door? Yeah, that requires a key card, and we don't have a key card. Okay, so this is the room where we ended last time.
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't?
I do know what a bucket
I
is,
suppose
thank
that
you.
would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Where are we stepping? Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Something's telling me that you're always going to be wrong regardless of what you pick. So for the sake of it, let's just keep saying yes if it's
Item
clearly a
3.
bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Jesus. Thebe, do you see the game I'm playing in this game right here?
Is this a bucket?
It's called Is This a Bucket?
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
I'm playing a game show in this game called Is This a Bucket? That's where we've got to in this game.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
How is that a bucket and also not a bucket?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
You might be a bucket.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay,
No.
here we go.
Don't do that. No.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could...
This is like the Monty Python, the
I'm
dark
not a
Monty
bucket
Python
after all.
skit of
And you,
games.
Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person?
We'll find
All
out.
right, here we go.
Resetting the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, so there's doors up there. There's one random, or a couple random balloons up at the top, which is also hilarious.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death.
Oh my
that they
God.
might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
We're going to try that
Perhaps he had
again
simply missed
and
a
see if we
memo.
can find a way to not die from that.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with. Stanley clutched the bucket.
Surely
tightly
there's a
to
way
his-
that we can
This
get
was
down
not the
without
correct way to the
without
meeting room.
dying.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Okay.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, we need to go out here. We
No.
need to find
Said the bucket.
Don't go
How do
to
we-
the meeting
how do we get
room.
down
Go
s-
somewhere
like,
else.
more
The cargo
safely?
lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
is the way that we can get down more safely.
Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay, so maybe we don't try to make it down to the ground?
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
There's got to be some way to make it down there to the ground level. There's got to be some way. Okay, let's do this for now.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
Oh my god.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
It's been a while since we've been up to this one.
In here,
Said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh god. The beige pages?
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Oh jeez.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Jesus.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Well. Don't listen to the loud
You
man.
see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
Jesus.
From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do
What?
I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
What is happening?
If I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
Bucket's here,
Yes.
the bucket's there.
The bucket could tell me what to do.
Bucket's in
this
the jazz
troublesome
music.
situation.
Oh my God. Bucket on the wall. Oh my Lord.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Oh my God.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Okay, that's, again, different intro.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Hold on. Warehouse access plan. Produce one plank to allow ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from warehouse floor. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Some are both red and blue. Oh my God.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Okay, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Between red and blue. Have we seen red and blue before? To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Okay, that was a different phrase than we've seen before. Great.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We need the blue and the red. Have we seen blue and red doors before? I don't think we have. I don't think we've seen blue and red doors.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
So what's over on this side? Again, when we go through there... I guess I want to go see this
Although
again.
This passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
We're gonna go see this ending again. See, you could fall this far and not die.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Aw, poor bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh my god. So we actually haven't seen this. You change the life of yourselves and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit, or will you turn a blind eye to continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That's way more than 25 buckets. Oh my god. Cave drawings of a bucket. Getting too ahead of myself. Presented without commentary. Jesus. This is the bucket equivalent of the Vitruvian Man.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh my god. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh. Then we grab the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game.
Okay.
Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a...
Smash the system.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I have no idea.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, so where do we go? Where do we go for an ending we haven't seen yet?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the
Down the
bucket
mechanical
calling
room,
to him,
maybe?
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the... And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the fuck is... What?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
What is...
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Anything? Anything for sitting in the broom closet?
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
I love the fact that TM, that TM is after every mention of it or the line or whatnot.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Is it gonna have me give up my bucket? Hello?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need
makes
me
a
to
garden.
spell it out for you.
It makes a beautiful garden for your
Go
outside.
ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that
Jesus.
about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans.
I don't want
Give
to.
the
I want
fans
the
what they
bucket.
want. Hurry and...
I want the bucket. He's been a good bucket. I want him.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I just don't understand. I wish I did.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So we haven't seen a red and a blue door. I just don't know.
This was not the correct way to the meeting
Where
room.
else do we go from
But
here?
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent.
Jeez.
Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to
We
the
need to try to
meeting
make
room.
it down to the
But
bottom,
Stanley had
and
felt
I
the
don't
bucket calling to him,
quite
telling
know
him
how to
that
do
the
it.
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this no? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I'm gonna go down here and see if it's any different.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come...
Okay, so that's not it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. And there it is, the last...
We got the red and the blue door.
Stanley, this is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh my god. Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Are we waiting or are we going back the other way? Oh, it's so pretty.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Oh, God. Is it literally saying to kill ourselves?
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done with this.
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You are going to stay here, aren't you? You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
It's very ethereal, but I think we're done. I think we need to see what's at the end of this.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Well, clearly I hurt myself because I am going way slower.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Yeah, nope. I think we're done.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. No. No, no. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asked, do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Oh, God.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going back.
Yep.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figlets. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Oh,
Didn't it fill
God.
you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Wait. 7 of 6?
And here was a second Stanley. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around
No.
in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
It's this one.
No. Under the stairs was the 4th place you found a Figanley, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If under the stairs feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Wait, but it was.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room.
No,
Well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but
No,
it's
we
here in the
didn't.
memory zone, so it must have happened.
No. Oh, God, are we losing our minds even more now? We were never in a pink room.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh my god.
Enjoy.
No! No! Not 2007 YouTube editing! Oh my god. I hated that.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Do I jump off to my death here? Can I leave? Or just gonna reset the whole thing?
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Jesus.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
What is this game, dude?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Oh my god.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes.
Oh my
I love
god.
that video.
Part of me still really wants to fall off and jump off and go see what's in loading dock B. Oh.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh, so there wasn't one in the boss's room. Or was there?
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
What the hell? Oh, is this the
Look,
jump
it's
circle?
the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more memory. Oh yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions.
Okay.
I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself.
Oh, are you getting rid of
I
us?
don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling this story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Jesus.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, is this just us resetting? Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Okay. Okay, we've already checked in there.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Right.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Beautiful. Here's the thing, we've already done this. We've already done this path.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
Yes.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
I don't know where else to
and
go.
entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nope, nothing in here. Nothing in there. Those are just paintings again. Paintings we've seen before.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his bosses...
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Anything else to say in the bathroom? Alright, we've already read that one. Oh, God.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I don't know what else to do with this. It's not a game that you can complete, obviously.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Oh, man.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I feel like I'm just kind of going through the motions right
Monitors
now.
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I guess there is another path that we can go on, and it's not one. It's not
But here
this,
was
actually.
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working.
You know what? We're gonna begin the game again, because I think there is one. There's one more area that I can go into to potentially get another response.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But
It was
eager to
okay.
get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, we're not doing this. We're gonna go back and we're gonna choose the blue door.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got...
We're going in there. We're going through the blue door now.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah. Nope.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Oh, God.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Oh, a skill
Work with
tree,
me.
yeah.
You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain.
No.
Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What? Okay, well, that's a bit rude.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh my god.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
You got it.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I want to die.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes.
Oh
This
my
seems
God.
like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What other game are we playing? Please tell me we're playing, like...
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a
If this is an
fascinating
actual
venture into
game, I
the
don't
experience of
recognize it.
Total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh my God. What? We're playing a different game within a game now? I hate this.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
It's gonna be okay.
Woods now, Stanley.
I mean, I'm literally in the woods right
I'm
now,
going to get us
so...
out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh my
Wonderful.
God, are
See,
we
this
in
is
Rocket
exactly
League?
what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
We're
Stanley, if you manage to
in
get lost
fucking
in this
Rocket
game, I will
League
be
right now.
phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay,
Spleebly.
Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
We're literally playing Rocket League right now.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked... Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh. I didn't realize I was dying.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Wait, what? What the hell? What? But it's... I can't... Okay, I see a light. I guess we're going for this. Don't fall again. What is happening?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice.
Probably not.
He's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I'm so
He'll
confused by
understand
everything
soon
in this
what
game
I
all
was
the
trying
time.
to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, can't move. That's different.
Stanley's bucket. The only coat. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Nope.
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Let's try this
that
again.
Would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences.
We're gonna go back
in
into
the
that little
entire
quiz,
rest
and
of
we're
the
gonna see if
game
I can remember
not
which
addressed
one's
quickly
which,
and properly.
as far as the answers.
So much of the impact of
They
the
might
story is
swap
dependent on your
when I'm doing
understanding
it,
of what
which is
is
fine.
and isn't a bucket. Please step in here for a moment. Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
We're doing great. We're 3 for 3 right now.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Come on.
Is this a bucket?
Yes, this is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Do you get something for pausing because it says that it is both a bucket and not a bucket?
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Ah.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes, thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even...
Okay, so we already did this one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Are there any additional ones that I'm missing? And that's the thing is like I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna look up just to see what we're dealing with here. Okay, hold on. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So this is another ending that we can do. Let me go see if I can find it. We can showcase another ending here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all...
So you walk in there, and then you leave. Now here's the abyss. We got an input. Okay. So now we can go the entire route backwards. Hi. Hi, baby. What are you doing? What are you up to? What are you up to, my love? Oh my goodness, we got a big Sasha girl. We got a big Sasha girl. She's being big and she's a girl. Hey, Beeb. 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 They can come out and then just watch them. All right, so we're going back here, and apparently there's a door now open at 428, and there's an, oh my god, there's an abyss. Okay. We just keep going up. Oh, we're going up to 760, so we got 3 more to go.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes?
That's it?
Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. We got another ending. We got another ending.
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No. No, surely not.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was
Probably.
the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
So we can jump
screens.
up here on
What
the
horrible
chair and
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both were. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
You okay?
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered.
Can you sit down?
Stanley and the bucket could find no way
down?
out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit
Okay.
cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path.
It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending.
This is...
But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
I just wish I understood.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What?
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Welcome to the whiteboard ending? Oh, now we can just bark. We have a barking bucket, everyone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Actually, you know what? We're going to begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone.
We
What
got the
could it be?
whiteboard ending.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going to do it without using the bucket, because we haven't seen what happens there when you don't use the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome.
Thank you.
You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development.
And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates.
I mean, it does.
Isn't that what you crave?
Yes.
New content.
We appreciate the new
Always
content.
more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
Well, thank you.
We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything.
They don't.
Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
That was awesome.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Oh, God. Oh my god, this is so extra. Oh my god. Didn't even think about this. Okay, so we're gonna go do another thing. We're gonna go try another thing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it. Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Jeez. Alright, hold on. We're gonna do that same thing
All
again.
of his co-workers were gone.
But this time,
What could it
stay
mean?
on.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Hey, Sasha.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Pepper, can you come here and lay down,
Please,
please?
stop trying to make every decision by
Go, lay
yourself.
down.
Now, I'm not asking
baby.
for me, I'm
Go lay
asking
down.
for her.
Go lay down.
For her...
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
Well-
Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
Well,
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
yep.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or
Well-
did you not grasp the severity of the situation?
I
Well,
mean-
I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh my god.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside.
Right.
At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay. Narrator, what you got?
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Yeah, that would be
story
unfortunate.
Would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Okay, so if we enter the left door, it progresses as normal. As we enter the right door, the hallway will appear to be heavily distorted. Okay, so let's go do the incorrect ending first.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
So it's fully distorted.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone? Left here like so much garbage. It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do?
Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish.
Jesus.
With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it?
Nope.
That there's a world outside of you?
Nope.
You're a child.
Sasha, baby.
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
Hello,
the
cool
door on his
cookie, and
left.
welcome on in. Oh my god, there's just so much here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Oh,
upstairs.
you can't
to
go
his
down.
boss's
You physically
office.
can't go down.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated
Okay, this is completely
until
different.
He saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up.
Well,
But now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me,
no,
did you?
I mean, there's kind of a big
Please
problem. I
speak
can't
the
talk.
code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
We can't talk, my guy.
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Well, that's kind of rude.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait, what?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Well, the credits are rolling?
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
Oh my god.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right.
Dude, sorry, Leroy.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jesus. Okay, well actually we got one that we can do right now.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
We gotta wait.
Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Jeez. This is all trippy. Okay. Okay. There is something with these, and I had to find them.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Okay, so we already got that one. We already got the one at 423. Did we already get the one in the boss's office?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we're looking for 434 now.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Okay. And now there's one on his computer. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. What is happening? Oh, so we're stuck. This is the buttons ending. We physically can't do anything else. Okay. Escape through the window by climbing...
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its
I just realized that wasn't on...
comment.
Hold on, I realized that wasn't on camera, so...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to... When Stanley...
Nope. So, you can kind of glitch up here, like glitching on the chair, and then kind of up on the computer.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place.
Probably.
Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option.
Jesus.
Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option
And we've
is
got the
really
phone
miserable to
ringing because
listen
that's
to, then
that's
perhaps
the
you'll not.
reset that it gave us.
In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Okay, let's begin it again. And let's go back there and
All of
try
his
to find the same
co-workers
thing.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like, right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate.
Yes.
I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible.
Great.
And see how long you can maintain.
I can't wait.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old, and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable, and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. you too will become quite unbearable.
I'm losing my mind with this game. This is crazy. Alright, let's begin the game again. Okay, what's another ending that we haven't hit yet? Okay, hold on. The skip button ending, the sequel ending, figurines ending. The third time opening the game. Expecting player. Okay, this is weird. Okay, so what we need to do, what we technically need to do right now in order to get this, like, kind of big ending, is that we physically need to exit the game, like, and then start it back up. So what's our favorite time? Yes, 420. How do you like things to be set? It is good to collect data. Okay, let's pop back in it again. Because we're dealing with the settings guy now. Till the dog and the cat are friends. Nice. Till the number 5 becomes the number 9. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Got it. No. I've told you everything you need to know about me. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Ruminate on what time it is. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. Well, this is getting sad. Talk soon. The epilogue? Hold on, we have the epilogue now? Many, many years later. Oh my god. Stanley, you're in a crazy world. Oh, yeah, this is the broken down room from the skip button? No, this is the memory zone. This is the memory zone? Well then. Great.
Jim. 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 Jim.
Well, this is sad. Got more gems.
Jim.
More gems. We got 26 out of 6 figurines. It's the guy. It's not sacred. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Unforgivable pantry. A new sequel every time you start the game. You know what, since you put faith in my idea, I feel like I give you something as well. Listening to the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. The achievement machine is all fixed. We're in this together. Or the actual time? Oh, great. Unforgivable pantry. With a car! Okay, beginning the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
now we can go to the expo hall and we can get the achievement, the bugged achievement.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense.
Don't worry, I forgot
say
it.
We take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Yes.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
You're right, but it
This is what
doesn't.
fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Let's hope it works. Yay!
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait. What in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
Jesus. Well, that's great. We got the achievement. We'd love that.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Now, there is an achievement for completing this, by the way, in 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Let's go for it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yep.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
There we go.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
Well, I'm glad he
Perhaps
found
his
it.
goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Did we get the speed run? No. No. Enable the achievement option. Hold on. Can't be as simple as that, right? Let's go back into the game and let's see. Oh, a whisper of cowboy. That's today, a whisper of cowboy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Okay, we're gonna just try to get the speed achievement in here, and we'll call it there. Be the last thing I do, and then I'm done.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
I'm very,
Stanley
very
calmly
rejuvenated.
walked forward into the opened passageway.
Actually, while that's loading, I'm gonna look at these
Descending deeper into
other
the
things
building,
really quickly.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Okay, we're gonna go back and we're gonna restart this one more time. Beginning the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So now, that opening should happen
When Stanley
immediately.
came to a set of 2 open doors,
I think.
he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oops.
Here's the door, just go.
All right, we'll do it. That speeds up this.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Okay, I don't know how to skip on that
This
second one,
mind control
but I
facility,
was able to
it
skip
was
that
too
first one.
horrible to believe
Good
it
chunk of that.
couldn't be true.
Probably another 10
Had
seconds or so.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
There we go. So this should do it. Hopefully.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from
And we're
someone
literally
else's
just pushing
command.
forward.
Freedom was mere moments
And by that, I
away.
don't mean progressing,
And yet,
as the
even
definition
as
of
the
what I
immense
said it
door
for.
slowly opened,
Even though it also
Stanley
means that
reflected on how many puzzles still
it's
lay
fine. It's fine. Doesn't
unsolved.
matter.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer
counting down
would
the
anyone
timer.
tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley
There
felt
we go.
the cool breeze
We got the
upon
speed
his
run.
skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new.
Alrighty. Honestly, I mean, outside of the silly little stuff, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to get out of this game. I mean, there might be some more kind of hidden Easter eggs and stuff like that, surely. But, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else. I don't know if there's anything else worth going back for. Yeah, I think we're probably going to keep that there. All right. We're going to call it here. I mean, 3 hours, we played through. It was a fun game. It was a fun time. It was trippy as hell. I mean, your brain's all over the place with this game. It's crazy. We will be back and streaming something else. I mean, I had fun. It was interesting. It was just silly. Just a silly goof of a game. Like, there's other achievements to go for, but the other achievements, I'm like, one of them, first of all, is to not play the game for 10 years. The other one is to complete a 4-hour minigame where you keep a baby and a dog alive. I don't want to play that for 4 hours. One of them is to be logged in for the entirety of a Tuesday from midnight to midnight. I don't want to do that either. And everything else that I got, where are the rest of these achievements? Oh, set all the slidings, the settings sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. Doesn't really interest me on that either. So, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it there. Spoken my piece with this game. It was fun. It was trippy. If anyone asks me about it, I'll be like, why does this game exist? But it was cool. It's cool for what it is. So, thanks everyone. Anyone that popped by, anyone that streamed by, anyone that's hanging out in the background. I think we got like a couple people just kind of lurking. But thank you so much. Thanks for popping by. As always, my name's Agent Talyn, and don't be an asshole. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. For the love of God. Sasha, come ask them not to be an asshole. Come here, baby. Come here, babes. Can you ask them to not be an asshole? Can you say, hi, Dad wants you to not be an asshole. Hey, hello. Hello. Hi, Pepper. Yeah. And we got Pepper, too. We got a Pepper, too. Pepper, come here. Pepper, come jump up. Hold on. Come jump up on this side. We're going to get both. Nope, over here. Can you jump up here? Pepper. Pepper, babes. Yeah, we got a Pepper girl, too. We got both dogs to send us off. I love you. I love you, my girl. You're so good. Hi, baby. Oh, he's a hack. I love you so much. You're good. Yes, baby. All right, I'm going to go hang out with Beeb for a little bit. So, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, everyone. Catch us back in here tomorrow. I do have something I have to go do tomorrow from about, until about probably 2 o'clock-ish. But we're going to come back here, and we're going to start with just another escape room. I have many escape rooms. I've got Talos Principle. I've got 3 Talos Principles games to get through. I've got all 4 episodes of The Room. We've got another escape room entirely. We've got another game that I haven't even mentioned on this channel that I definitely want to get to. So we got lots of content and stuff like that still to come across in the next couple of weeks. Intermittently throwing in some blueprint speedruns here and there. So that'll be fun. So, again, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, everyone. And bye for now.